relax and enjoy.
There never was anyone quite like me. I'm the only me that you'll ever see. From the top of my head to the tips of my toes. Oh, 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 I'm special, you know. There never was anyone like me or you. Being ourselves is the best we can do. We're priceless and precious, for God tells me so. Oh, 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 we're special, you know. We're quite unique, a walking work of art, and strong or weak, we all have our own special place in God's heart. We're different, each one from the other, it's true. God never repeats himself, never makes two. Be happy with who you are, God made you so. Oh, 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 you're special, you know. We're quite unique, a walking work of art, and strong or weak, we all have our own special place in God's heart. We're different, each one from the other, it's true. God never repeats himself, never makes two. We're priceless and precious, for God tells me so. Oh, 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 we're special, you know. Oh, 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 we're special, you know.
We are special, you know. Such a beautiful beginning to a 30-minute soiree where we end a day and we begin a new day with a blessing, but with words that are affirming that we are special. I don't know about you, I can only speak for me, but it's only really since 2007 when I was guided to surrender my heart to my beloved, the Christ, that I really began to feel special. Prior to that, it was really a question of living an unlived life and always having a smile, but the heart was broken because the heart never really felt God's love. I guess that was down to conditioning. Yes, but now we take those words and we reflect on them, that we are special, that we as a child of God are special. But if you're in a dark place, which many of God's children are as I speak, the words "you are special" will not resonate with the heart. And if they're anything like I was, one can be quite dismissive of that truth and look to the right or the left thinking it must be somebody else they're speaking to. But that is the joy, that is the mystery. When you surrender your heart to the beloved, the I am presence within you, the one who created you. Let us come to this time let us come with an open heart. If we are feeling weary and unloved, or maybe in a dark place, will you trust me? And together we shall come and sit at the table of the Supreme, and we shall ask the Father, Mother God, who loves us, that they will empower us to hear those words again. I am special because, like you, I am a unique child of God. In our vigil earlier on at 8 o'clock, we gave an introduction to a wonderful book that's a number of years old, and it's called The Coming of the Cosmic Christ, by a great teacher, Matthew Fox. And in my heart, I bought that book on Amazon as a second-hand book for 60 pence. Yes, 60 pence, second-hand. And over the last few weeks, I've been guided to try and use it as a blueprint for a whole new series of webinars beginning on a Sunday afternoon from the 13th of January. And it's about walking with the cosmic Christ. And it's about honoring and acknowledging the prophecies of Joel in the Old Testament. Let me share a snippet of what we shared this evening. Nirmala left some beautiful comments, and that affirmed me that this is what I have to do. And the prophecy of Joel, written 600 years before Christ, is amazing. Absolutely amazing piece of prophetic work. But here it says, but now, it is Yahweh who speaks. Yahweh being God. Come back to me with all your heart, fasting, weeping, mourning. Let your hearts be broken, not your hearts torn. Turn to Yahweh, your Father, Mother God again, for God is all tenderness and compassion. And it concludes, you will eat to your heart's content, will eat your fill, and praise the name of Yahweh, your God, who has treated you so wonderfully. And you will know that I am in the midst of Israel, that I am Yahweh, your God. Those words are saying something to me again this evening. The words are saying that despite how we have lived our life, despite the mistakes that we have made, despite the wrong turns we have taken in our journey, the cosmic Christ, who was Jesus, is the hound of heaven, and he will find you and me wherever we are. He will find us if we're in the gutter, as he did me 14 years ago, when through mental illness I lost the shirt of my back. Literally. I had nowhere to live. And I remember kneeling in the pouring rain, calling to God, shouting at God to send me 3 archangels. And guess what? Within 7 working days, 3 archangels came into my life and empowered my broken heart through illness, through mental illness induced by Prozac. And what is so amazing, that was the beginning of a personal relationship with a loving God, with a compassionate God. And over the interim years, I discovered for the first time that I was loved. But I was very aware and frightened in case it was a dream. But what is so beautiful, when I was guided in 2007, when I lost the power in both legs and couldn't walk because of a spinal infection, God was using those 6 months of paralysis for something amazing. Because in those 6 months, I did not feel special. I knew I was loved. But he kept saying, come back to me. And I convinced myself he wanted me in a monastery in the Catholic Church, and I freaked. But then I realized when I surrendered my heart, he did not want me to go into a monastery, because the words from my spiritual director, I can hear them now. The Catholic Church isn't ready for you yet. What she was saying was, live the life now from your home, where you are, and be, for you are special. And it wasn't until midnight on the 7th, 8th of December 2007, when I surrendered my whole life to live the contemplative life. And in the interim years, I now realize that through my heart being broken and my mind being broken, God performed a miracle. He brought me back to myself, and he allowed me see his son. And he allowed me sense that despite my mistakes, despite all the wrong turns I took in my life, he had a plan for me. What I'm sharing with you is, you may be in a place yourself where you don't feel special, but you are. If you don't feel special, it's because your head is in control of your heart. But if you feel special and loved, that is saying something to me, that you are in your heart. And if you're in your heart, you can face anything, because you're not alone, because you're one with the Christ. You are with the Christ because you are Christ's head. You are an extension of him. The heart is Christ consciousness. You have heard me say that so many times, but it's true. Your heart is your best friend. Your heart will lead you, as recently it led Eleanor and Elizabeth to see a life dream fulfilled on the 8th of December, when they knew for years that they were called to live the monastic life from their home as Franciscans, when they joined our community as novices, as will Miriam, who's with us this evening, when she's ready. But you know, the cosmic Christ wants us to fall in love with him. He wants us to experience our first love. Our first love. When we were a being of love in the kingdom of heaven. And he wants us to share that love with our partners, with our children, or just one-to-one. So let us ask the Master Jesus to speak to your heart, to speak to your heart and guide you to where He wants you, so that you're in the right place at the right time for the dawn of Aquarius. And it's only days away. You have waited like I for a very long time for this moment. There is excitement in my heart. There is excitement in my soul, for we will meet the Christ. He will show Himself if we have surrendered to love. Let us reflect. Let us just take a pause and let us ask ourselves the same question: who am I? Who am I? And why am I here? What is my purpose, if not to fall in love with the Supreme? And when I ask the question to myself, who am I now can say, I am who am. I am a beloved of God. And it doesn't matter what anybody thinks about me. It doesn't matter what people say about me, whether it's negative or positive, because my heart belongs to Him and only Him. But I am allowed to share my heart. But my first love is the Christ. And I would like to read to you what He's saying to us tonight, this new day. Forgive me, I need a drink. It's thirsty work talking. Excuse me. Or is it the antibiotics? I think it's the antibiotics. And this is what the Christ is saying to Sheila, to beautiful Elizabeth, Eleanor and Miriam, and beautiful Sheila, of course, and whoever else watches these recordings. I am Christ in you. I am Christ in you, the hope of glory. This is channeled by Jesus. The one who walks beside you, holding you by your hand, is the same one who lives within you and me. This is a deep, unfathomable mystery. You and I are intertwined in an intimacy involving every fiber of your being. It's intimate, it's personal, it's sacred. The light of my presence shines within you, Sheila, Eleanor, Elizabeth, Miriam, and whoever else is watching. His light shines through you. Do you believe that? Can you accept that? For that is true. The light of my presence shines within you as well as upon you. Wow. I am in you, and you are in me. Therefore, nothing in heaven or on earth can separate you from me. What beautiful words. And the cosmic Christ says, as you sit quietly in my presence, your awareness of my life within you is heightened. Wow. This produces the joy of the Lord, which is your strength, especially when you are being tested like I am. When you feel that every support mechanism that you put in place has been taken away. But the Master is saying, this produces the joy of the Lord, which is your strength. I, the God of hope, fill you with all joy and peace as you trust in me, so that you may bubble over with hope by the power of the Holy Spirit. Let us come, let us sit together, let us hold hands together, and let us allow the cosmic Christ, who has honored us with the gift of joy, the gift of peace, and the gift of intimacy. As we sit together as one, we are now being aligned to the mystical heart of God, the love flowing through each other is a love rooted in Christ consciousness, and it's now filling our heart with love. Let us bring in the cosmic Christ. Let us invite the beloved to come and sit with us. And he does. And he looks at us with such compassion and love. We do not need words. All we need is to see his smile on our heart. And the smile is saying something very personal to each one of us. And I know what he's saying. And I can share that with you in love, in trust, and in truth. For the Christ guided this evening, I didn't. He planned this evening on the 11th second of the 11th minute of the 11th hour. And I just followed my heart. And what he's saying to you, Sheila, Miriam, Eleanor and Elizabeth, and whoever else has joined us, wait for it. You are special. You are special to the beloved because he called you by name. And though you've taken some wrong turns in your life, he has brought you back to your central core. Why? Why has he done that? Because he loves you and me. Look what he's done for me. He didn't have to, but I am so grateful. I am so eternally grateful that he never gave up on me. And the very least I can do is to endure whatever comes to me out of love, because he is my beloved and he paid the price for my freedom. So nothing is a problem. But he's saying it again now. We are special to him. We are special because He loves us. Let Him now place His hand on our heart. Let us see the Christ place His hand on our heart. Feel the love flowing from His hand. Feel the warmth around our heart, our weary heart, weary from trying and struggling against so many odds. But feel the love, feel the healing rays of love flow through His hands into our heart. And as we place our hands over His hand, we can sense a blessing. A precious gift is now being given to you and me. Can you feel the gift? The gift is the word special. And He's recognizing our presence. He's recognizing our prayer. He's recognizing our efforts to stay in touch with Him. He's recognizing that we are a beloved of God. And He's touching us. And He's filling us with such love. Such beautiful love. And your hands are over His hand, and they're on fire with the tenderness, with the mercy and compassion of our Father, Mother God. Just relax and stay with that beautiful feeling and know that we are special, that we are a child of the mystical heart of God, and that we are loved. Be at peace. Sense the peace of God.